People speak of hope as if it is this delicate, ethereal thing of whispers and spider webs. It's not. Hope has dirt on her face, blood on her knuckles, the grit of cobblestones in her hair, and just spat out a tooth as she rises for another go. Hello, my friends. Grab your gloves because we're about to pour some magic. My name is Tammy, and I'm so glad you joined the chaos with me today. My craft room is in utter disarray because I have it under construction right now. So I don't want to dig and try to find something for us to do. So I got in some Happy Mail right here. I don't know what's inside this bag, but I can feel it and I can tell that there is a mold inside of this bag. So whatever's inside of here is what we're going to do today. Are you ready? Let's get inside this bag and see what someone sent us. I don't see any tickets in here that lets us know who sent this to us. See? The bag's empty. Oh no. That's okay. Sometimes we're blessed with a silent gift where someone doesn't want to state who they are. So if they don't contact me by email to be in the drawing, then that means they don't want to be in it. And they just would like to quietly sit behind the scenes and watch us create in these molds. I don't know what's in this bag, but are you ready to find out? Let's open it up and see. Oh, these are the animal shaker molds. These were on my wish list, on my Amazon wish list. I thought they were so cute, and they're really neat because you can do these with UV resin or epoxy resin. They got acetate sheets that come with them. That's always a plus. We don't have to cut our acetate sheets to fit the molds. We have a bunch here. So let's get these out and see what they are. I do know these are separate. You have to attach them some kind of way. So that's going to be a job. Yeah. We're going to have to figure out how we can fix these. Do you struggle using your curing machine when your piece comes out? It has bubbles all over it and you can't figure out what you're doing wrong? If that's you, then this video is definitely for you, my friends. Some of you may wonder why I don't use my curing machine much in my videos. Well, it's because every time I use it, my piece comes out with tons of bubbles all over it. Now, with that being said, the curing machine is not a bubble remover machine. That's not its job. Its job is to cure your resin piece fast so that you can, let's say you have 50 wedding keychains to get done by tomorrow. Then the curing machine would be a great tool to have to help you out in getting those pieces done in time and fast. But every time I use my machine, like I said, my piece comes out with tons of bubbles on it. I've talked to other creators and I've asked them, well, what temp are you running your machine at? Because you can change the temp on it and you can change how long you keep it in there. So after speaking to many other creators about the resin they're using, the temp they're using, I still cannot come to a resolution as to what's going on in my hobbit hole. So I thought I'd bring you along for the journey. Maybe someone else out there is struggling, and I don't want you to feel like a failure because we're not failing. We just need to figure out what's going on. So I thought we'd do that together today. I'm going to create these beautiful keychains here. Now, we do have 6 little friends here and only 4 hearts. So we're going to have to drop 2 of them. I'm going to lose the rabbit and the bear because we do have another bear, the panda bear. So we're doing the frog, the panda bear, the cat, and the pig. I think that's a pig. And we can't run a true test without trying different epoxy resins, right? So we're going to do, and this may be in a different order, but Resiners epoxy resin, Craftor epoxy resin, Let's Resin epoxy resin, and we need a thin viscosity to make the experiment fair. So I'm going to throw in my liquid diamonds. This is a casting resin, but it's very thin viscosity. It's also a 2-to-1. Are y'all ready to get started? Now, this may take more than one video to get it right, because this machine has many different options on it for your temperature, your time, you know, so it may take more than one video to get it right, but we got to start somewhere, right? So this is us getting started. Y'all want a quick demold real quick? I found these on Amazon. They were 3 little flower molds, and the listing said 3 crystal molds. I thought, oh, those would be cute. No, they're not crystal molds. They got me. So let's demold this one and see what it looks like. They're really cute flowers, though. Aren't they? So I'm happy I got them. But if you see these, they are not crystal molds like we're used to. And then I made another one of my keychains. So let's see how it turned out. Kind of like a tie-dye. It's pretty. Turned out really cute. Now I took the glitter and I just let it kind of do its own thing. I didn't really spread it around. So I like how that looks, especially through there. It's pretty. And of course I'm going to put one of my stickers here on it. I chose this one right here. I think it's beautiful on there. So let's go ahead and ease this off. I love these DTF stickers. They are amazing. And there it is. So cute. I was sitting here thinking a couple hours ago, how are we going to put these together when we get them finished? Because they are in 2 pieces and not 1. We can't glue them, because if we glued them, they would break apart in no time. These are keychains, so they get bounced around, banged around, thrown around, you know, so gluing's not going to work. So let's work out a way to make sure they don't come apart. And we aren't the only ones that thought about that. I went and I looked on Amazon down at the bottom at the reviews, and there were tons of reviews saying they gave this mold 3 stars or 4 stars because there were no instructions on how to finish them off. So we're going to go figure that out together, and hopefully we will come up with a solution. I also thought we would go ahead and do our details, like the eyes, the mouth, the cheeks, and the hands with UV resin. And then our 2-part epoxy and in the curing machine after that. So let's get started. We're going to start on this one, the little panda bear. And what I thought we would do is take these 3 colors here out of the color shift mica powder kit by Let's Resin in sky blue, chartreuse, and orchid. And I want to go in this area, and then out there on that outer edge. I hope it doesn't fall over into there, but we're going to give it a go. And I want to try that with these color shift micas to see how they look with a black backing. So we're just going to take some Craftor UV resin and put some in each of these little silicone cups here, mixing cups. These little cups are fabulous to have for UV resin. And you usually get them in a lot of the UV resin kits. So I'm just going to drop our colors in here and mix them up right quick. Now I'm just going to take this little tool right here and I'm going to pick the skinnier end. And we'll start with the blue. We'll just pick it up and just drop it in. We have a few little bubbles there, so I'm just going to give it a little spritz of alcohol. And then we're going to move on to the next color. Let's do the yellow next. Going to give it a little spritz of alcohol to pop any bubbles. And now we're going to move on to this color. Okay, I cured it on the other side as well. So now we're going to turn it back over. Looks like we got a tiny bubble right there. But maybe we can fix it in the next pour. Now, I want to do the center of that heart white, because our panda bear, we're going to put some white on our panda bear too. So I'm going to get my Craftor pearlescent type UV resins out, and I'm going to get the white. And I'm just going to put a little bit right there in the center. We don't want to make it too high, because our next pour, we want to make sure it doesn't go over. And what I mean by that is, if you turn it to the side, we don't have a lot of room to work with if we're going to do another pour on top of that. So we got to be careful and not make it too thick. Come on. All right. Now I'm just going to take that and spread it around. I didn't clean my stick off, so it had a little bit of that last color we used on it. Let's see if I can cure this up quick before it starts pulling away from the edge. So I'm just going to use my little light here to cure it up quick. There we go. Now I'm going to fully cure it. Okay, I've flipped it over and cured it on that side too. So this one's ready. We're going to scoot it on over the side and we're going to work on the top of our panda bear's head there. Now, let's give him blue eyes in the center. So we're going to use that same blue that we used over there. Just put it right there in the center. Okay. Now, let's get the white back out, and we're going to do the outside of the eye in white. So let's just quickly cure that up. I'm just going to do a little quick cure, not a full cure. There we go. And now I'm using the Craftor pearlescent white. And I'm just going to take this right here and move it around. And then let's put some little white hands here. Let's put a little bit of white up here. Now let's go ahead and just quick cure that. Not a full cure, just a quick cure. Uh-oh, I see a bubble. Oh well, it's got to stay there now. This little light's strong, so it doesn't take much. Okay, now we need to do the mouth and the nose. I'm going to get some Craftor UV resin, put it down in here, and get the red chrome powder. We're going to fill in the mouth. I'm going to take my pearlescent pink by Craftor, and I'm just going to put a little squirt right there, because we don't need much for that nose. I flipped it over and cured it on the other side, so now that one's ready. So we're going to scoot it over to the side and we're going to get the next one out. Okay, I'm going to try to move a little bit quicker because we have quite a few to get through. So we're going to do the eyes in blue. Okay, now I'm going to use pink and black from the Craftor pearlescent. And we're going to do that little nose in black. Then I'm going to get the pink and do the cheeks. Then I'm going to use this red by Resin. It's the dark type UV resin. And I'm going to cure that up. Now that's cured. I cured it on both sides. Now let's work on the bottom of it. And I'm just going to use the pearlescent colors from Craftor and just fill in all of the little areas here. Okay, I flipped over and cured it on that side too. So now that one's finished. On to the frog. Let's do the frog's eyes yellow. Cheeks in this red, dark type by UV Resin. And then the mouth in red. Bottom, let's see. Let's do the green in the pearlescent Craftor. Now I'm going to get Super Sparkle Lime from Laura's Art Corner, her reflection glitter. And we're going to do the seeds in that. Okay, I flipped it over and cured it on the other side as well. So now that's ready. Now we have the cat. So the cat, let's go ahead and do the red dark type Let's Resin for the cheeks. Let's do the mouth in the red. Now the eyes, we're going to do blue. Now we're going to take the red and do the hearts in here. Then I have these little bitty candy sprinkles. Now let's quick cure that up so our sprinkles don't move. Now I'm going to take this gold by Let's Resin. It's a chameleon powder. And we're going to drop some in this cup here. Put our UV resin in, our clear UV resin in. Mix it up. And now we're going to do the paws in that color. And I'm going to get a little brush. And we're going to make tiger stripes through our cat. Now I'm going to take some little Q-tips and clean up in my piece here. Okay, I cured it on the opposite side and the front, so now we are finished with that one. I hope it turns out cute. Now we're ready to mix up our resin and get it in the curing machine. So for this one right here, we're going to mix up the Resiners epoxy resin. So I'm just going to go ahead and do 20 mils of B and then 20 mils of A. Hopefully that'll fill that up. I'm pretty sure it will. We're going to go ahead and do the Pig and Let's Resins epoxy resin. And I have it in these bottles right here. The Resiners epoxy is ready, so I have my glitter already in the cup here, and I'm using this black glitter that I was sent in Happy Mail. I'm not sure where it came from, but it's beautiful. And then I'm using this glitter right here that I received in Happy Mail. I don't know where it came from either, but I mixed both of those in this cup here. So we're going to put that in this one. So let's go ahead and add our resin in there. I don't think it's going to take all of that, so I'm just going to put a little bit in there, mix it up, and then I'll use that other epoxy for something else. Oh, that's beautiful mixed together, those two. Oh, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but oh my goodness, it's beautiful. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pour this one. So I'm going to spritz a little bit of alcohol on both of them, and that's going to help out with the bubbles forming around the edges or in the bottom. I'm going to add a little bit to the back of the hands right here. Now I'm going to use my heat gun and run it over there, pop any surface bubbles. Now we're going to spritz some alcohol on the top of that one, and we're going to move it to the side, and then it'll have time to degas before we put it in there in the curing machine. You know, because I thought maybe that's the key, letting it rest a little while before you put it in there. So that's what we're going to do. Now I'm going to spritz, well, we're not going to spritz the alcohol on that yet. Here's the colors I chose for the pig. My Sullen Pink Party, and then my glitter that was in the same kit as that silver that we used that I received in Happy Mail. I'm not sure where it came from. So I'm mixing both of those. This is the Let's Resin epoxy. So let's go ahead and put some down in here. Get that stirred up really good. Oh, that's so pretty together. Oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. So let's go ahead and do this one right here, the little pig. I'm going to spritz alcohol in the mold, and then we're going to go ahead and put the resin in. Now we're going to take the heat gun and run it through there and pop any surface bubbles. And now I'm going to spritz some alcohol. Okay, we've got these two ready to go in the Resiners curing machine. They have sat here and degassed for 20 minutes. So now let's load them in the machine. Here's the bottom of it, so I'm just going to go ahead and put them right on in here, and then we'll get the top and get it started. Okay, we're going to get the lid put on here. Here we go. Okay, we could do a bunch of different things here. We're going to go ahead and turn it on, and it's set for the UV resin side. Now I have it set for the epoxy resin side because it cures UV resin too. Okay, we can go, there's the temperature right there. I'm going to go down all the way to, we're going to go to 115. Let's do 115. And then we're going to cure it for 2 hours, what it was set on. There's 2 hours. Okay? And then we'll try a different temp on the next batch. Alright, I will meet you back in 2 hours. We are back. Let's get our lid off. And let's see what's going on in here. I had the extra that I had left over. I know that this was Resiners epoxy resin, and this was Resins epoxy resin. I mixed them both together in my keychain mold. Both of the epoxies I mixed together. So let's see what happened. Let's take this one out. Okay, I have bubbles all through there. You see them? All through it. They're all on the edges. Look at that one. There's a big one right there. See that? What a bummer. Okay. Now let's get these out and see what happened. And they're still a little soft. And I know that's because I turned the temperature down so far. Most creators that I see using this have the temperature turned all the way up to 140. We dropped it all the way down to 115. All right, let's check these edges out. Okay. We got a bubble right here. Pretty big. See it? Right there. But I do have to say that's a better turnout than I've had in a while. And that's the inside. I don't see any bubbles on the inside. Nope. Well, it might be a tiny little line right there of some. You see them right through there? Let's see, we got one right here, bubble there, and there, and a big one here. But it could be because of that chunky glitter we used too. Trying to escape. This is the best turnout I've had using this machine, to be honest. Yep, I think we might try to turn the temperature up a little bit. Let's go to, let's go from 115 to 125 for our next try. But see, these go right like that. Isn't that cute? That is cute. And then here's the little hands. And the little hands are supposed to go like this. You put them right on there like that. Like he's peeking out or holding on to the heart. Isn't that cute? So adorable. Okay, so there's the little pig. Now let's get this one out. I can't wait to see what this one looks like. Oh, that's cute. Okay, we got a little bubble right here, but that's probably from the UV resin, I'm gonna say. So the inside looks really good. Really good. Now let's walk around the edges. Okay, we got a little bit of bubble action going on right there. 2 bubbles there. See them? Right there and there. We got one right here. That could be from the glitter though, trapping the bubbles. That is a way better turnout than anything I've ever had in this machine. Okay, it's a little bit better than what I've seen. We got a few tiny bubbles here, not many at all. That looks good. So that goes on there like that. Now you see why I wanted to do the center of the heart white. I think it really tied everything in together well. Super cute. And then here's our little hands. The little paws, bear paws. And they go on there like that. So cute. All right, let's get the resin mixed up on our other two and get them in the machine. This is Bond Crafter's UV resin. This is Bond Crafter's epoxy resin, 1-to-1. This is part A and this is part B. That's just how I keep them on my heat mat. I put part B on a heat mat and part A is on a shelf. So we're going to go ahead and put 20 mils of part B in our cup. Then 20 mils of part A. Now I'm going to go mix this up on my mixer and I'll be back. While I was cleaning out my craft room, guess what I found? Now this was done with super clear epoxy resin. That's what I used to use when I first started, super clear. It looks pretty good. But more other pieces have yellowed way more than these. I think because these were in a dark place. That's why they didn't yellow. This one looks pretty dingy. But this is how we used to do the keychains back in the day. The alphabet molds did not come with holes in them already. You had to drill the hole yourself. So that's how I used to finish them off. And I would make little cute little beads and dangle from them. Man, we have come such a long way. I had to show these to you all. This was some of the first letter keychains I ever made. Years ago when I first started. When alphabet molds did not have holes in them. So you could put your jump rings or keychains through. You had to make your own holes. I had to show that to you all. Memories, memories. Now our liquid diamonds is a 2-to-1. So that means we need 2 of this to 1 of this. So we're going to go ahead and do our part B first, which is the hardener. And we're going to go to 20 mils. I can't hardly see. Sorry, you guys. I'm going to have to hold it up here, so I'll make sure I get it right. Okay, that's 20 mils of B. Now, instead of doing 40 mils, we're going to do 60. So, 40 of A, 20 of B. Now I'm going to stop at 60. And then I'm going to go put this in my mixer. Alright, I'm not going to spritz any alcohol in there because it's going to make our, well, I don't guess it would really be a problem. Let's do it. Now I'm going to go ahead and pour. And I'm going to stop right there. And then get some over here. And stop right there. Now we're going to use my Octopus Fluid Deep Black ink for this one. Alright, I'm going to pick it up right quick and see if we got any bubbles. Okay, I don't see any. So this is going to be a great test right here because we don't have any glitter trapping those bubbles. Now, let's walk around this one. Make sure we don't have any bubbles. I don't see any. Okay. Now let's go ahead and drop our ink. And I'm just going to take my little stick here and move the inks around a little bit. And I'm taking that stick, diving down in the edge there a little bit to make sure we get some of the black ink down in the edges too. Now I'm just going to clean this off. And now we're going to go ahead and fill them up. And I'm just going to move the inks around again. Okay, that looks good. We're going to take our heat gun, move it through there a little bit, pop any surface bubbles. Spritz some alcohol. Now we have our liquid diamonds. On our pig here, I don't like the pink hands that I chose. I just think it's too much pink. So I got the little pig back out, and we're just going to remake the hands and make them in black, maybe, to match the nose. And then we'll just choose between the pink and the black. So I got some resin left over from right here, and we're just going to mix up some of that black. And here's the liquid diamonds. So we're going to spritz a little bit of alcohol into our mold. Go ahead and pour the liquid diamonds in. And I'm going to stop right there. I'm not filling it up. Now we're going to use my octopus ink and strawberry on the bottom, and then my green apple on the frog. And then I want to add the milk octopus fluid ink. Just 3 drops. And now we're going to get the lid for the machine. Now we're going to get the lid, put it on. And whoops. Now we're going to turn it on. And we're going to go to the temp, and we're going to go all the way down to 125. Right there. We're going to cook it for 2 hours. And we'll see how that turns out. I will see you in 2 hours. Are you ready to see what's inside? Oh, let's see if that done it. Okay, let's demold this first. Still a little soft, but it's fully cured. Okay, I don't see any bubbles. All right, we got one right here, but it's an edge bubble. So that leads me to believe that it got trapped there in the edge. Okay, that looks really good. Okay, let's go ahead and get these out. Let's see, is that fully cured? I want to run this a little bit longer, my friend. You see how it's looks a little funny right there? Where I pushed it out at? Yeah, let's run this a little bit longer. You know what? That's the liquid diamonds right here. The thin viscosity one. So we're probably going to have to run it a little bit longer. Because it's going to take longer to cure that. I didn't think about that. Okay, this is the Bond Craftor. Let's go ahead and demold this. I know it'll be ready. And then we'll check out the edges and things and see what we got. I may have just found the setting to run my G3 machine on. Oh, that's cute. Look at the tiger marks we got in it. That is cute, cute, cute. Okay, let's walk around it and see. I don't see any bubbles so far. So far, so good. Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. And I use Bond Craftor most of the time. So I just think I hit my mark on my machine, figuring out the setting for my G3 machine. Okay, so we ran it on 125 degrees for 2 hours. So that's where I need to be at. Okay, I'm super excited about this. Here's the little hands for this one. Okay, so I'm going to turn the machine back on and we're going to run that again. This was done with the liquid diamonds. This was too. This was too. I think the rest of this was. Yep. All of this was done with the liquid diamonds. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the machine back on. And we're going to run it for another hour. I'm not going to do it for 2 complete hours. I'm going to do 1 hour. And then we'll see where we're at. Okay? See you later. It's been an hour. So let's get these out and check them. Wow. Wow. This low viscosity resin is definitely the way to go. There is not a bubble one in this piece. Not a bubble anywhere in sight. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, let's get the bottom out. Still a little soft, but it's fully cured. I love this liquid diamonds. I like to use it with jewelry. The greens, I don't like those two greens right there. But we're going to fill the shaker up anyway. Let's see if the little hands will make a difference. Make it look a little bit different. I like the glitter seeds on the strawberry. They match really good. It's a bit thrown off, but oh well, he's still cute. And these are the black hands that we made for the pig because I thought the pink on pink was a little much. So let's check it out and see which ones we like the best. Because his little nose is black. Which one you like the best? I think I like the black. Yeah, it's just too much pink going on there. Yeah, that looks good. And then here's our flowers. Turned out beautiful. Just beautiful. Gorgeous. Absolutely amazing. Gorgeous. Look at that. Flawless. Oh, we got a little bubble right here. But it was because one got trapped. It doesn't have anything to do with the machine or the resin being faulty. It's me. I should have caught that bubble and I didn't. And here's this one. Some of that chameleon powder got all over it. This one looks a little funny. I don't know. And then here's our little angels. Look at that. Isn't that cute? So cute. Looks like we got a teeny bubble right there. But that's probably from me not getting it out. I will take the blame for that. Super cute. A bubble got stuck here and here on the mold, and I didn't catch it. There's our little pink one. And then here's the last one. So cute. Got a little bubble over here. Well, I think that I definitely progressed using this G3 machine. Most definitely. I need to practice a little bit more, fine-tuning my temps and my time with the epoxy resin that I'm using. So, I'm a little excited about using this machine a little bit more with my projects. Instead of it sitting over there in the corner and me wondering what is going on. How come I keep getting bubbles in all my pieces? So I'm glad that I took the time to figure this out. So if anyone else is having this issue, I hope this video helped you out too, my friend. This is how I'm going to finish these off. You know I don't like using the Promise 1 Hour Epoxy to top coat with, but we're going to have to do these rather quickly because the video is far too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my UV resin and I'm just going to tack these. So I'm just going to take some UV resin right here. Put that head on there. Whoop, wrong way. Like that. And then I'm going to cure it up. I'm just tacking this. I don't want that resin seeping through to the front. So I'm just going to tack it back here. Just like that. And then that'll make it where we can put a dome on the back. Now I'm going to do the other ones the same way. I've got them all tacked. So now we're going to go ahead and turn them around, fill the shakers up, and then take the 1 Hour Promise Epoxy and put our shaker tops on with the 1 Hour Promise Epoxy. And then later on I will throw a dome on the back if I need to, but I don't think I'm going to need to because I can top coat the whole piece here and lock it in together. So I think that'll be fine. Yeah. So let's fill the shakers. I have all the shakers filled up with some cute little shaker bits. Now we're going to take a little bit of the Craftor epoxy resin, and I'm going to go around the edges, and we're going to tack our acetate sheets on there. It probably has a little film we need to pull off. So I'm just going to go around the edges with a little bit, oops, one over the edge. We don't want to do that. It's a little tiny area to work with, so you have to be careful. Okay, that looks good. Now we're going to take our heart, we're going to lay it down, drop it, and cure it. Now I've got my 1 Hour Promise epoxy here. We're going to go ahead and drop it on here. And I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to go over onto the head there. Because if we don't, then it's not going to seal it. But then again, I think I want to do that on the back, because it's going to take away from the design on the front. So yeah, I'm not going to do it on the front. We're going to do it on the back. but I won't do it in this video. I'm just going to tell you how I'm going to do it. Okay, there's that one. Now I'm going to finish the rest of them. Okay, I'm done. So we're going to put a cover over these and let them cure up. And I'll meet you back for us to check them out. See you later. Are y'all ready to have a look-see at our pieces? Here we go. Okay, here's our frog. I put a dragonfly and some little bubbles right there. Thought it would be cute. Now it's got some tiny, 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 tiny little micro bubbles in it. But that's from the 1 Hour Promise epoxy. I don't like doming with it, but we was in a pinch for time, so I used it. I don't think it takes away from it, though. It's super cute. Just need to put a little screw in there and a keychain on it. And then here's the panda. Turned out really cute. I love their little hands. Isn't that just adorable? That glitter is amazing in this one. One of my subscribers sent me that glitter. And then here's our cat. I put a fish and some bubbles right there. I thought that was so cute. What do you think about the little tiger marks on the cat's head? Did it work out? I think it's cute. And then here's our pig. I put a little star and some diamonds down there. Just something to extra to fancy it up a little bit more. Not that it needed it, because they're so stinking cute. But you know me, I gotta be extra. But I do need to put a dome on the back. I'm going to sand the backs and throw a dome on there to make sure that head doesn't pop off. That would be terrible. So my takeaway from this, I do feel a better connection to my G3 than ever before. We are friends now. Every resin has its own personality. The secret here using the G3 is finding your sweet spot between your temperature and your cure time. Once you find that combination, that's where the magic happens. Size, resin, time, temp, all of it matters. Don't take my word for it. What worked beautifully for one resin may not work the same for another, which means finding your sweet spot is going to depend on the resin you're using and the size of your project and the temperature setting you choose. I hope this video helps someone else on their resin art journey. I did finish my necklace and earrings set. I was demolding these time after time with you all, and I thought you might like to see how it turned out. That's my necklace. And these are the earrings. And now I have a set to match my shirt. I know that's an odd color, and I didn't have that color in any of my earrings. But I have a cute shirt. The sleeves on it are, they're real big and blousy, like a little cuff right here. And then it comes out, like flares out a little bit. It's just a really cute shirt I found at Cato's. And now I have a little cute set to wear with it. I thought you might want to see how that turned out. And now we have a giveaway to do. Let's get the wheel up here and spin it and see who wins the giveaway this week. Here's my little bingo balls. And let me get my list out. Okay, I got my list. Now let's get started. Good luck, everyone. And if you commented underneath Friday's video from last week, you're in this drawing. If you want to be in the weekly drawings, please remember to comment underneath Friday's video only. That's the only video I collect my names from. I'm the only person that does this. I don't have a moderator. I don't have any help. It's a one-man show here. So it's super easy for me to go to Friday's video and collect all the names from there. So let's go ahead and shake this up. I want to shake it first, make sure it's good and shook up. Now we're going to spin it and catch a ball. You ready? We got a ball. Let's see who it is. You. Who are you? 070. 070. Do we have a bingo? Do we have a bingo? Let's see. Who is the winner? Dun, 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 dun. I know the sound effects aren't so great here. Oh, 70 is... Are you ready? Kathy Skipper. 070, Kathy Skipper. You are the winner, my friend. Congratulations. I got so excited I knocked my camera down. Congratulations, Kathy. If you will email me your address and let me know which make you picked, then I will get it shipped out to you with a few of my coasters to hide around your hometown. Some of my traveling coasters. If you don't know what that is, I'll explain it a little bit here. I do the giveaways weekly, and my winner gets their prize that they choose of my makes through that week. And then I also pack them up 2 or 3 of my traveling coasters, and they hide them around their hometown. And if someone finds it, there's an NFC reader in there. They just scan the coaster and it will explain all the directions to them. They'll take a photo of the coaster and post it on my community page and where they found it. And then I, in return, will read the comment and let them know if the coaster they found has a prize attached to it. If it does, then I ship them their prize. They can hide the coaster or keep it. It doesn't matter. So that's a little bit about this traveling coaster journey. If you'd like to be on this journey with me, then just comment below in Friday's video each week, and I'll get you in there, my friend. Congratulations once again, Kathy. Email me, and we'll get your stuff shipped off to you, and you can start hiding those coasters, my friend. Thank you so much for your help. I couldn't do this without you all, my friends. Let me know which one of these is your favorite. I think my favorite out of all of them is this cat. It's so stinking cute. Which is your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. And it's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye. And I will see you in the next video. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.